To update the timesheets on the Saudi job, you will be emailed the timesheets directly from Saudi, and the timesheet file will have all the timesheets gone back, and you want to take out just the ones that are missing from our sorted file. So I know if I open up our sorted file that I have timesheets put in until the 19th, so I need from the 19th onwards. So I will select the 20th, press Control to select all these tabs. Right click on them, move or copy, create a copy, and I'm putting it into the April timesheet workbook and select OK. So what that has now done, if we go into our April timesheet workbook, it's put all these timesheets in here. Now we have a worksheet in here called consolidation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and put my cell in A1, and then I'm going to go to Data, Consolidate. And this has all the previous tables already in it, and we have right up until the 19th. We need to click top row and left columns, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 20th, and we're going to select the data that we want to add in. And we take the same rows each time and hit add, and you'll see the 20th jumps in down here. And now we will go and we will select the 21st, and we'll just make sure that's auto selected all the right data, which it has, and select add, and then do the same for the 22nd, select add, 23rd, select add once we've verified, 24th, and the 25th, we're going to add the same. And now when we select OK, this is now consolidated all the data for us into one table. So all of the hours from the whole of April are now consolidated, and these are the hours here, and these are the employee names here. Once you've updated the timesheet and got a consolidated timesheet for the month, you can now copy this into the PPR template. So I'm going to select from the employee name all the way down to the end of the employees, including the hours. And I am going to go to the Saudi PPR, and in the Saudi PPR I'm going to say update timesheets. This is the timesheet summary. So what I need to go down to is the April hours, and in the April hours I'm going to actually just paste the values that I have taken. Now this column here is a control, and this makes sure that all employees that are on the timesheet are actually listed in the database. And that's just the control there. Now, once you have actually updated the hours, this will automatically update the timesheet master. And the timesheet master has all the employee names, the company, the trade, the position, the rate, and then it pulls in from the timesheets, it pulls in the hours, and it will also pull in then the spend separately. So if this job goes into May, you're going to need to include a column for May, because I only have it going up to April. Now this timesheet master actually pulls from the employee master sheet. So if you have found in your April hours that over here in the control you have a hash symbol, it means that the employee is not set up in the employee master and needs to be put into the employee master and pulled into the timesheet master. After this, we then need to update all of the pivot tables in the timesheet summary. So if we right click and press refresh, it'll refresh the data in each pivot table. There's 3 pivot tables to refresh. And then change the date up here to the date of the last timesheet. So that updates the header sheet. The first pivot table will pivot the timesheet master by the trade and by the hours. The second pivot table will pivot the timesheet master by the trade and then by the spend. And the final pivot table pivot tables the spend by the supplier, or who the labour hours actually relate to. From here we'll just jump back to the main menu and we will quickly look at what that updates. So that updates 2 worksheets in here. It updates the indirect labour report, and this indirect labour report will then pull in the actual hours against anticipated hours and budget hours in the yellow cells. And if we scroll down here to the green cells, it's going to pull in the actual spend. Now on the Saudi job, the indirect labour hours are all of the Irish staff, or the expats, the staff that we've sent over here, and the budget rates are slightly different to the actual rates because of subsistence and different employee skills that were actually sent over in the end. So when we have done all the timesheets for the end of the month, this then needs to be matched to the actual payroll cost, and we need to put in a value down here to match or increase or decrease the actual spend to the correct cost. And then don't forget that this is reporting in dollar. So your costs will be in dollars compared to Sage in euro. What you should find is this value at the end of April before any adjustment for actual. So there's April. So the value for the end of April for the indirect labour or the expats should match the pivot table. So if we scroll back up here to our timesheet summary and our bottom pivot table, we have APC in here, and our spend for April is 119,085. And if we just go back to where we were, we see that it's the same, 119,085. So them 2 figures should always match. You will also find on the direct labour sheet that the hours here, the value for Fiatco should match again with the pivot table. The 77,746 and so forth. So they do match. And once they have all matched, we can then just go back to our main menu and we can save our changes, and that is our timesheet entry updated.